It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these AFC South foes. It's the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Going to the air right away, Lawrence. And his first look is incomplete.
Nice play on the football, and while it was tipped in the air, it made everyone a little bit anxious before falling to the ground. You just know defensive players are taught to knock the ball to the ground. But early in games, emotions come into play. Nerves come into play. And despite the training, the ball was tipped up. Fortunately for them, they didn't pay for that error.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 44 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line. On the counter, Etienne. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. They'll get it to the 23-yard line.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll run with Etienne. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
And the Jaguars are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Travis Etienne,
An 8-yard touchdown run.
and the Jaguars are on the board first here this afternoon.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Now the try here for the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Now Stroud. That is caught by Dell. He's to the 15.
Touchdown, Houston.
Take Dell. 77 yards. And the Texans are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own.
And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And even with that broken tackle, can't get very far. Stopped short of the 30. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Etienne up the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Here's Lawrence. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. Motion man left is Kirk. And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. That's complete to Parker Washington. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
A give running right, Etienne. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 4. Etienne once more. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Lawrence will throw. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And his kick here is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started.
That tackle by Trayvon Walker. Nice play. He blows that up behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Stroud working out of the gun. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, there was a trust factor in that call. Turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the first down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Stroud to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Stroud out of the gun here. Another one caught by Collins.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Here's Stroud.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Tank Dell
with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Texans have taken the lead in the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10.
That time a 9-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the first down in the process.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Now Lawrence.
Complete to Washington. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And his throw here's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd down and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. It's a throw again as Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. Bigsby is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Lawrence to throw.
This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
This is intercepted.
Picked up by Foyesade Oluwakin. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a 1-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down.
Stroud looking to throw.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 9 yards on the play and a first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Mixon with a first down carry. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Stroud.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
And Stroud now to throw. Through the middle of the field.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Nico Collins.
34 yards.
And the Texans add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line.
They'll look to ETN to start things out.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
And Thomas has it. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Washington in motion left.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's the second down and 6. From midfield now, Lawrence.
A short throw to Ingram. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end, Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
3rd and 2. Now a handoff to Bigsby. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
The Texans offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Stroud dumps it off to Mixon. And he goes out right around the 39.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th.
Play action. Stroud now. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Again, it's Mixon.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the 4th quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
Now Stroud. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Mixing up the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Stroud. That's complete to Dell. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connect.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Mixon will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get... And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a fourth quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's 3rd down and 5. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. And he's got this down to the 35. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Lawrence will throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Got to avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Texans defense stands tall. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.